A teenage girl meets a scruffy old dude and, out of nowhere, starts stripping off her jacket. Then she casually lifts a multi-ton car and tosses it aside just to snag his parking spot. This girl's dubbed the strongest human warrior, but the real powerhouse, that unkempt guy next to her. One punch from him turns Kaiju to dust. Another levels half a city. He's a half-human, half-Kaiju super being, with combat skills so godlike they're off the charts. How does a human end up like this? Kafka's transformation traces back to a Kaiju attack in Yokohama. It was a stormy day, and a 60 meters Kaiju, rated a 3.5 threat level, was wrecking the city. Everyone within 3 kilometers was evacuated, leaving empty streets and the defense force in helicopters, ready to take it down. Regular missiles and guns barely scratched the beast. So Mina, captain of the 3rd Division, blasted it with a heavy sniper cannon. The Kaiju exploded, its blood raining down like a storm. That's when Kafka's job kicks in. He works for a private cleanup company, mopping up Kaiju remains. While the 3rd Division gets cheers, cleanup crews like Kafka get sneers. He's used to the disrespect and feels numb to life. Without some twist of fate, he'd probably stay in this dead-end job until retirement. But this is a Japanese anime, and if there's no heroine, there's always a plot twist. Kafka's assigned to clean the Kaiju's guts. He tries to protest but gets stuck with it, and that's what sparks his transformation. That night, Kafka scrubs himself with a liter of body wash, but the stench lingers. Frustrated, he catches a news report about Mina, his childhood friend who vowed with him to fight Kaiju together. Now, they're worlds apart. The gap eats at him. He dreams of being a hero like her, but come morning, it's back to the smelly grind. A new co-worker, Reno, joins the cleanup crew. Like young Kafka, Reno dreams of joining the defense force to battle Kaiju. Kafka, though, keeps failing the entrance tests and is now too old to qualify. Reno doesn't vibe with Kafka's jaded attitude but admits the guy's got a good heart. When Reno loses his appetite from the gross cleanup work, Kafka makes him eat to keep his strength up. After work, Reno thanks him and drops a bombshell. The defense force raised the age limit to 33. It's Kafka's last shot to join, or he'll regret it forever. Suddenly, a Kaiju appears behind Reno. Kafka reacts fast, saving him and telling him to alert the defense force while he distracts the beast. For elite fighters, this Kaiju's no big deal, but for regular guy Kafka, he's running for his life, barely staying ahead. Exhausted, he feels death closing in, his mind flashing back to his childhood promise with Mina. Desperate to survive, Kafka fights on, but one hit to his leg leaves him unable to escape. Reno comes back to save Kafka, refusing to let him die alone. They're in this together, live or die. Kafka, crawling and desperate, sees himself in Reno's determination. Then, out of nowhere, Mina's white tiger attacks the Kaiju, and she delivers the finishing blow. The heroic captain doesn't even glance at Kafka, as if she's forgotten her old friend. In the hospital, Kafka reflects on how powerless he is compared to Mina, who can one-shot a Kaiju. A curtain separates his bed from Reno's, hiding his despair. Then, a mysterious larva appears and darts into Kafka's mouth. When Reno pulls back the curtain, he sees a humanoid Kaiju. A terrified elderly patient raises the alarm. Mina, the regional officer, assembles her team to head to the hospital as Yokohama broadcasts an urgent Kaiju alert. Kafka, unaware of the danger, tries to calm the elderly patient with a smile, only to scare them into a faint. Reno drags Kafka out to escape. On the run, Kafka shifts through different forms, his tongue stretching to snatch prey. Embarrassingly, he can't control his new Kaiju body. 2 streams of urine shoot from his chest, mortifying him. He's so humiliated he considers ending it all. Then, Kafka senses another Kaiju. Reno sees a chance to escape while the defense force is distracted, but Kafka chooses differently. He punches the new Kaiju, saving a mother and daughter. Feeling his newfound strength, Kafka throws another punch, obliterating the Kaiju into a bloody mist. He's obsessed with his power, something he's never had before. But when the little girl he saved screams at his Kaiju form, Kafka feels awful and starts to leave. To his surprise, she thanks him. In that moment, Kafka knows what he wants. To keep his promise to Mina, to fight for humanity and wipe out all Kaiju. When Mina arrives, Kafka and Reno are gone, leaving only Kaiju remains. Confused, she learns from the girl that a kind Kaiju saved them and begs Mina not to kill it. Kafka's Kaiju form is later classified as Kaiju number 8, a title reserved for the most powerful Kaiju. The defense force launches a manhunt for him, but no one suspects Kafka. Back at the hospital, he and Reno are treated as regular patients who fled during the chaos. Months later, Reno brings news. They both passed the defense force's first-round test. Kafka's gotten better at controlling his transformations, switching specific body parts to use Kaiju's strength discreetly. Reno warns him that joining the defense force is risky, surrounded by elite warriors. One slip could mean a barrage of bullets, but Kafka's resolved. He's done living a meaningless life and won't break his promise to Mina. At the second round test, Kafka runs into trouble. A brash girl, Kikoru, demands his parking spot, claiming 55 is her lucky number. Kafka bristles at being called an old man and refuses. Kikoru, in a Defense Force combat suit, casually tosses Kafka's car aside. After showing off, she suddenly sniffs out a kaiju scent on him. Reno quickly explains they clean kaiju remains for a living. To prove he's no slouch, Kafka shifts his hands to kaiju form and lifts his company car back into place. Kikoru's impressed, taking an interest in this old man. Reno warns Kafka not to take risks. Soldiers are everywhere, and exposure means instant death. Kafka owns up to his recklessness and joins Reno for the physical test. It's a disaster. Despite staying fit and the physical demands of his job, Kafka ranks 219 out of 255th. Kikoru, meanwhile, places 5th and rubs it in his face. At 32, Kafka's humiliated to lose so badly to a teenage girl. Reno cheers him up, pointing out this year's candidates are freakishly talented. With Kikoru as their biggest rival, she graduated college at 16, topping her class in Kaiju combat studies. Reno shares that he took the cleanup job to prep for the final test, which often involves Kaiju corpses, Kafka's specialty. Kafka's pumped. He may suck at fighting, but he's the king of Kaiju cleanup. Then, Sushiro, the 3rd Division's vice captain and test overseer, drops a bombshell. This year's final test isn't about dead kaiju. Candidates must fight live ones in a training arena. Kafka's hopes crash. There's good and bad news. Good news, everyone gets a combat suit made from kaiju remains, boosting strength. Activation levels vary. Trained warriors hit around 20%. Geniuses like Kikoru reach 46% on their first try, and Reno gets 8%. Bad news, Kafka's activation is a flat 0%. His suit's useless, making him no stronger than a regular guy. Kikoru, recalling his car lifting stunt, suspects he's hiding his true power. Sushiro explains the test. The arena holds one main kaiju, strong enough for a unique number like Kafka's, and 36 weaker Yuko kaiju it spawns. Drone's record performance, and if a candidate's in danger, a shield activates, but it means elimination. In extreme cases, death is possible. Kikoru ignores the warning, charging in and downing Yuko kaiju with a few shots. Other geniuses struggle, needing dozens of shots per kill due to lower suit activation. Kafka's suit weighs him down, so he ditches the main weapon, grabbing a handgun to stay mobile. His cleanup experience shines. He knows Yuko weak points. Shifting to a support role, he uses grenades to disorient kaiju and guides others to target vulnerabilities, helping down another Yuko. Feeling confident, Kafka searches for the next target but gets ambushed. A broken bone leaves him unable to dodge. Sushiro is about to activate his shield when Kikoru swoops in, kills the Yuko, and heads off to hunt the main kaiju. Kafka's leg injury grounds him. Unwilling to quit, he stands through the pain, and miraculously, his suit activates at 0.01%. It's weak, but it's something. He urges Reno to go ahead, not wanting to hold him back. Reno refuses to abandon him, carrying Kafka forward. Sushiro, amused by their odd teamwork, jokingly considers passing them on the spot. For regular guys like Kafka, the arena's a nightmare. Low suit activation means weak attacks and stamina, but for Kikoru, it's a breeze. She mows down Yuko like ants. Even the main kaiju falls to her gunfire. Sushiro expected 30 eliminations, but Kikoru's dominance lowers the test's difficulty. If the total score for the test is 100, she's got 98, but a crisis is coming. As candidates prepare to leave, Kikoru is about to brag to Kafka when a new kaiju, later named Kaiju number 9, attacks her heart, drawing blood. She survives by redirecting suit power to defense. Kaiju number 9 revives all dead kaiju in the arena and vanishes. The main kaiju, now mutated and stronger, nearly kills Kikoru. As she fades, memories flood back, always topping exams, but never earning her father's praise. Her mom was killed by a kaiju, fueling her dad's obsession with eradicating them. That drive left their bond cold, both chasing strength over love. Kikoru craves her father's approval but forgot how to show it. Mina and Sushiro race to the arena, learning the main kaiju's severed attack organs have regenerated. Kikoru's defenseless, but someone steps in. Kafka, in kaiju form, his hardened body tanks the main kaiju's strike, and a single punch turns it to mincemeat. Kikoru, stunned, passes out from her injuries. When Mina and Sushiro arrive, they find the kaiju's remains. Sushiro recalls similar wreckage from months ago, wondering what kind of blow could do this. Kikoru, after treatment, lies to Sushiro, claiming she killed the main kaiju to protect Kafka's secret. Meanwhile, in a public restroom near the cleanup company, Kaiju number 9 watches Defense Force news on a phone. Puzzled that no candidates died, it transforms into a new cleanup crew employee, its evil presence unnoticed as it blends into human society. Life seems normal again. Kafka and Reno anxiously open their Defense Force acceptance letters together, Kafka's heart practically leaping out of his chest. At the induction ceremony, geniuses like Reno fill the hall, but Kafka's missing, leaving some new recruits disappointed. Mina thanks Kikoru for slaying the main kaiju, sparing major casualties. Kikoru feels uneasy about taking credit but keeps Kafka's secret. Then Kafka bursts in, late, when no captain picks him. Sushiro recruits him as a reserve member, citing his knack for finding kaiju weak points and supporting teammates, plus his knack for lightening the mood. Mina, as 3rd Division captain, speaks next. Kaiju attacks are spiking in frequency and danger, with unexplained phenomena like kaiju revival. Old tactics are obsolete, and future battles will be brutal, with death and injury unavoidable. But Mina vows to lead from the front. Kafka blurts out he'll stand by her side, accidentally spilling his heart. Everyone's stunned, and he's punished with 100 push-ups for not addressing her rank. Sushiro plays it off, saying he likes Kafka's vibe and comic relief. Privately, Sushiro has another reason. During the test, when a super strong kaiju appeared, Kafka's vitals vanished. Sushiro wants him close for investigation. After his punishment, Kikoru drags Kafka to a restaurant she's reserved. He hesitantly shares his transformation story. He's considered confessing to the Defense Force, but Kikoru warns it'd mean death or a lifetime as a lab rat. Kaiju corpses are often turned into weapons. She promises to keep his secret but vows to kill him if he ever harms humans. In training, Reno pushes hard, raising his suit activation to 18%. His goal, get strong enough to handle any kaiju so Kafka never has to transform. Iharu, another rookie, started at 14% activation and hits 20%, but Reno's catching up. Kikoru's at a jaw-dropping 55%. Kafka, he's thrilled to hit 1%. One night, the rookies unwind in a bathhouse. Male bravado kicks in. Iharu flexes. Kafka sucks in his gut to fake muscles. When muscle-bound Kaguraji shows up, they all dive underwater. The mood shifts when they discuss why they joined the Defense Force. Kafka lets slip his history with Mina, sparking a gossip frenzy about her past. They get so caught up, they oversoak and pass out. This tight-knit rookie class trains hard, earning high hopes from their seniors. To become a full member, Kafka spends every spare moment studying in the library. Sushiro, overhearing his bathhouse chat, knows Kafka's driven by Mina. He quietly extends Kafka's library access by 2 hours daily. As Sushiro leaves, a kaiju alarm blares. A bloody night looms. The 3rd Division holds an emergency meeting. Kokomi reports that civilians in the kaiju's area are evacuating, and the military has set up observation posts. The kaiju's massive, spawning tons of Yuko. Mina's plan is brutal. Divide the city into zones, with each captain leading a team to clear Yuko while she takes the main kaiju. On the way, Kikoru's hyped for Kafka to shine, but he's so nervous he nearly pukes. At the combat zone, Kafka flubs again. While others leap off buildings, he crawls down, determined to fight cool. He's instantly knocked flying by a Yuko. His clumsiness drags other rookies down, earning a scolding from veterans to stay out of the way. Kikoru's ticked, mowing down Yuko and stunning the vets. Kaiju shells are tough, usually requiring weak point hits, but powerhouses like Mina and Kikoru can brute force kills. Reno, less gifted, still takes down Yuko solo. Hard work pays off in this world. Kafka, hearing his peers' success via comms, refuses to stay a bystander. He dissects a Yuko corpse and finds a key weakness. The joint between head and torso, best hit from the side. Worse, Yuko are growing reproductive organs, a rare trait. Sushiro relays this intel to all teams. Mina doesn't need it. Her attacks are overkill. 2 shots down the main kaiju, but she fires twice more, maybe flexing for Kafka. Sushiro, wielding family-inherited blades, excels at close-range combat with smaller kaiju. But tonight's real heroes, Reno and Iharu, who stumble across a cleanup worker, Kaiju number 9 in disguise. The main kaiju was Kaiju number 9's creation, packed with reproductive organs. When it dies, Yuko pour out like a tidal wave. Kaiju number 9, a fast learner, posed as a cleanup worker to study humans. It can't risk exposure, so it attacks. Luckily, its human form aim is off, narrowly missing Iharu's heart. It shifts to its true form, known to the Defense Force thanks to Kikoru's intel. Reno tries to call for help, but Kaiju number 9 has sealed the area, cutting off communication. It's using human tech against them, with ambitions far beyond this fight. Reno and Iharu are its next targets. Reno, tipped off by Kikoru, dodges most attacks, taking minor wounds. If his legs give out, he's done. Kaiju number 9 wants him for experiments. Inspired by Kafka's bravery as a human-facing kaiju, Reno covers Iharu's escape to get help. Alone, he faces crushing despair but finds courage, unloading bullets on Kaiju number 9. Iharu, fleeing, recalls Sushiro saying most members max out at 30% suit activation. Breaking that limit unlocks new potential. Iharu's stagnated, unlike Reno, who protects others. This time, Iharu wants to protect Reno. He turns back, joining Reno to face Kaiju number 9. Knowing their odds are slim but refusing to surrender, a human kind of heroism, Iharu covers Reno, mimicking his dodges to create an opening. Reno lands a special bullet, but Kaiju number 9 blocks it with a Kaiju corpse shield. In 2 seconds, it inflicts 7 wounds on Reno, too weak to dodge. Reno's fading fast. Kaiju number 9 needs only him for experiments and charges a lethal blow for Iharu. Iharu prays for Reno's survival, uncaring of his own fate. A shadow answers, Kafka as Kaiju number 8, furious at his friend's state. His roar forms a sound barrier, and his punches rain down on Kaiju number 9. Analyzing the fight, Kaiju number 9 knows it'll die if it doesn't flee. Kafka smashes its body, spotting its weak point in the chest. But Kaiju number 9 fakes an attack on the arriving defense force, forcing Kafka to defend and letting it escape. The defense force sees Kaiju number 8 and number 9 as equal threats. Kafka flees to avoid attack but is tracked by Sushiro, who thinks he injured Reno and Iharu. Sushiro's rage fuels a terrifying assault. Kafka can't bring himself to fight Sushiro, taking hits while dodging. Sushiro's speed outpaces even Kaiju number 9. He spots Kafka's weak point through his wounds and launches a feint, aiming a lethal strike. Kafka anticipates it, countering with a punch to create distance and escaping under cover of dust. Sushiro's frustrated but confused. Kaiju number 8 had chances to kill him but only dodged. Reports confirm the attacker was the humanoid Kaiju number 9 from the test. Meanwhile, Kaiju number 9, badly wounded, eats a human to heal, taking their form to resume hiding. Days later, Reno wakes and thanks Kafka. Iharu, in the next bed, is curious but too naive to connect Kafka to Kaiju number 8. After recovery, Haruchi hosts a victory party. His family's a Top Gear manufacturer, so he's loaded and treats everyone to premium beef. Months of training and shared battles have bonded the rookies. Alcohol loosens them up. Turning shy recruits Rowdy. Sushiro announces Kafka's promotion to full member for spotting Kaiju weak points. No one looks down on him despite his weak stats. At the promotion ceremony, Mina shares she's headed to HQ to report on Kaiju number 8 and number 9, leaving Sushiro in charge. Before going, she tells Kafka she remembers their promise to fight alongside her. Kafka studies late. One night, he sees the training room lit up. Sushiro's replaying his fight with Kaiju number 8, regretting his tactics. Kafka nearly wets himself. His captain and vice-captain feel scarier than Kaiju. Suddenly, pterodactyl-like Kaiju swarm the 3rd Division base, led by a humanoid Kaiju in the clouds. On the rooftop, Kafka sees fireballs raining down. The base wakes to an apocalyptic sight. Kokomi reports to Sushiro, every Kaiju's disaster level is 6 or higher. All main Kaiju tier. Unlike past mindless Kaiju, these target the base, unsettling Sushiro, especially with Mina away. He plans to uncover the invasion's cause. Kafka, on comms with Sushiro, shares his research. Pterodactyl Kaiju usually appear solo, about 10 yearly. This coordinated swarm suggests a super Kaiju's control. That Kaiju, later named Kaiju number 10, emerges from the mist with a disaster level of 8.3. Only numbered Kaiju hit 8 or above. Its attacks are like meteor strikes. One hit would kill Sushiro. He assigns the pterodactyls to others, focusing on Kaiju number 10. Kafka digs deeper. Pterodactyl Kaiju evolve tough frontal hides to protect against mid-flight attacks. Haruchi and Kaguraji team up. Kaguraji draws fire. Haruchi hits weak points from behind. But these Kaiju, seemingly intelligent, guard each other's weaknesses. Enter Kikoru, who smashes through their toughest armor with a custom giant axe, a rare weapon for her unmatched skill. She's 3rd in strength behind Mina and Sushiro, and her new moves with Reno's support make pterodactyls drop like flies. Sushiro lures Kaiju number 10 to the training arena to avoid friendly fire. He severs its arm, then unlocks his suit to 92% activation, enough for an 8-level Kaiju. Like a surgeon, he carves out its weak point. Victory seems certain. Kafka, helping out, uses partial Kaiju legs to speed up and save a female teammate, but a power surge hits him, his head splitting with pain. Then, Kaiju number 10 grows massive, Godzilla-sized, its disaster level spiking to 9. Only captain-level fighters can handle a level 9 Kaiju. Sushiro tries to defy the odds, but his blades struggle against Kaiju number 10's bulk. After 10 minutes, his suit overheats, risking bodily collapse. Kaiju number 10 senses his weakness, ordering pterodactyls for suicide attacks. Sushiro is slammed by its tail, his mind flashing to his samurai family. Swords were useless against Kaiju, and his low gun affinity made him a defense force reject. Until Mina's invitation gave him purpose. Refusing to fail her, he fights on, even as his suit drops below 92%. Kaiju number 10 grabs him. Kafka can't watch Sushiro die. As he partially transforms, Mina's voice rings out. The 3rd Division's queen is back. Sushiro, despite injuries, distracts Kaiju number 10, while Kikora joins, exposing its back weak point. Kaiju number 10 uses pterodactyls as shields, but Sushiro overexerts, stopping its regeneration. With team support, Mina lands a direct hit, silencing the arena. Kafka weeps. This is the defense force he idolizes. Brave, united, sacrificial. As everyone relaxes, Mina's white tiger roars. The remaining pterodactyls form a giant sphere, charging for a 2-kiloton explosion. Kaiju number 10's final revenge. Kokomi warns it'll wipe out the base. Kafka bolts forward, outpacing Sushiro's attempt to stop him, fully transforming. Rated at 9.8, Kafka knows he's exposing himself as Kaiju number 8, silently apologizing to Reno and Kikoru. Kafka leaps, pushing the sphere skyward. Exhausted, he falls as it detonates, leveling buildings. Without him, the city would be lifeless. Turning back, Kafka faces Mina and his teammates' guns. Captured, Kafka faces heated debate among defense force leaders. Some want him killed and turned into a superweapon. Others, like Commander Isao, suggest transferring him to HQ for a decision. The order reaches the 3rd Division. Kafka senses coldness, but Reno shouts he believes Kafka will return. Mina, in the unmonitored transport, says the 3rd Division saw his sacrifice and doesn't view him as a monster. They're gathering evidence to save him, and she'll wait for his return. Kafka cries as the 3rd Division salutes the departing van. Days feel like centuries for Reno. Iharu's bad jokes fall flat. Kafka's situation is dire. News of a human kaiju could spark public panic. Discussions stall. Mood sour. Mina and Kokomi compile data to defend Kafka, while Kikora begs her father, Isao, for his release. Isao reveals a shadow near Kafka's heart, the kaiju power core and weak point. His wife's death by kaiju makes him see all kaiju as enemies, so he refuses. Kafka's capture shakes the 3rd Division. Mina's ordered to reassign Reno, Iharu, Haruchi, and Kaguraji to other units for training, citing base damage and the need for talent against rising super kaiju. Haruchi suspects it's to monitor Kafka's friends. Mina denies it, and Reno accepts the transfer first. Before leaving, Kaguraji, a former soldier, calls old comrades to plead for Kafka. Surprising Haruchi, Kaguraji wants his teammates to survive to retirement. Isao unbinds Kafka, attacking to test him. Kafka, dodging, uses partial transformations to avoid full kaiju mode, hoping to outlast Isao. But Isao, once the defense force's strongest, wears gear made from kaiju number 2, each hit devastating. Kafka's endurance plan fails, forcing a full transformation. Then, the mysterious larva takes over, urging him to kill the kaiju in Isao's gear. The larva drives Kafka's kaiju body to attack Isao, fueled by hatred for kaiju triggered by Isao's gear. Vice Commander Keiji notices Isao's holding back, testing Kafka's limits. Isao, aging and wounded, struggles against Kaiju number 8's power. As the larva prepares a fatal strike, Kafka sees young Mina in his mind, snapping him awake. He redirects the blow to himself, declaring he's Kafka, not Kaiju number 8. Before collapsing, Isao orders Narumi, the 1st Division's captain stronger than Mina, to stand down. Had Kafka not stopped, Narumi would have killed him. After treatment, Isao hears Mina's account. Kafka's heroics saved lives, even at the cost of exposure. Most HQ leaders see him as a threat, but Isao, against opposition, spares him. Kafka's fight to stay human and his strength are vital against growing kaiju threats. Years ago, Kaiju number 6 killed 3 captains and over 200 members, and Isao senses worse to come. The 3rd Division rejoices at Kafka's survival, but the relief is brief. Kaiju number 9, after studying human tech, is ready to unleash destruction. Thanks for watching my recap of this epic anime. If you're craving more, don't worry. Season 2 drops in July. Subscribe for the latest on this high-rated show. Kaiju number 8 gives me Evangelion vibes. Kaiju as mysterious and deadly as angels. Isao as cold as Gendu. Mina like a war machine Ayanami Ray. But this show's lighter, warmer, with Kafka's goofy charm and Reno's humble grit stealing the spotlight. Kaiju number 9's the real menace. Not just its power, but its human-like cunning. Where do these super kaiju come from? Why does the mysterious larva hate kaiju? Stay tuned for Season 2 in July to find out.